Go. Okay.
Yo.
Yo. We're back. This time, chapter 1006. Just wanted to let everybody know who is watching. We are at 37 subscribers, dude. Almost there to 50. So, it is free. Just go ahead and hit.
Did you
Okay.
know?
Did you know about 95% of people who watch this video are unsubscribed? Wow.
Wow.
Maybe that's not the
Click
actual
that one
fact.
little button. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
you know what?
Anyways, let's talk about this.
I didn't even know. Okay, here. There we go.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this color page real quick. All right.
Yeah, holy cow, this one's awesome.
My man,
I
who's who in the back left, looking kind of beast. Say.
You
man,
think that means he'll be like a big player for the Flying Six? Sorry.
Oda just keeps fucking me with these color schemes, man. Like, I just I know it's colorful and I'll get used to it, but man, he's got pink hair and a red hat, and it's like, I just
I don't know.
didn't
The only
expect
one I
that,
hate is
guess.
page one. I hate page one's fucking hat, dude.
I also hate that his
I
hat is
love
not
Peyton's
black
hat.
and his mask is.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
worst
I can
part.
see that.
Yeah, I hate that they're not the same.
I think the hat
That's
itself.
honestly the only one I have a problem with.
It's not
too,
the end
yeah.
of the world, really, but that is like a little pet peeve.
Yeah, I think Black Maria looks awesome. I think Sasaki looks awesome. I think Ulti looks pretty good.
We've seen these colors before, though, haven't
Oh,
we?
Yeah, we
we
have.
have. They're
We
on a
have.
volume cover. They're on a volume
Yeah.
cover. Yeah.
I think Sasaki might have my favorite color scheme of the bunch, or Black Maria actually. Like you said, Adam, those two just have a really solid
The
setup.
red, black, and gold, just like Sanji. Yeah, I agree. Kind of the best color.
Dude, what the red, black, and gold? Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, hey, who's
And
who
the
got
All
it
Stars
too?
all
That's
look great.
Yeah.
They look great. And Kaido.
I like. Doesn't Sasaki's eyes on his mask look like bug eyes for some reason?
They do. I
Yeah,
kind of
me
love
too.
that though.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you know how old samurai armor is kind of based on bugs. Like that's a bit of a
Mhm,
stretch,
true.
obviously. It's just that one little thing. Like it's kind of cool, and he's a swordsman, right? Like
Yeah, he looks like
yeah.
Flygon eyes, but yellow.
yeah, it's like that. It's cool.
Pretty gnarly.
So what's that supposed to be? Is it supposed to be like some kind of beetle insect, or is it like a
I
bull's
doubt
hat?
it. I just kind of brought that out of my ass because Red said they look like bug eyes. To be
Did you
honest.
say a ball sack?
What?
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 Wait, where'd that
what
come
did I
from?
say?
Wait,
He said
Gene,
like
what
he
did
said like a beetle.
No,
or
what was the
something.
alternative?
Like either a bug's hat or a bull's hat.
Oh, Bug's hat.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Never mind. Okay. Anyways, does this confirm King the strongest member?
No, it confirms that Black Maria and Who's
And
Who
Yo,
are the
Evan.
strongest members.
What's up, dude?
Yeah. I don't think any of this stuff should be read into too much. Though.
No, yeah. I mean, if you actually look, if you look in manga and then you click on the little Twitter link, there's a recording of Oda's like progress, while he was like his creative process of how he was designing the color page, and it just went through like it wasn't even gonna be this. It just went through a whole bunch of bullshit, and then like different poses, and then he like realigned everything. So I doubt it means like anything important.
Yeah. That
Obviously,
happens
yeah,
a
'cause
lot
I know
actually.
that's just a
Like
joke,
one of
but-
them was like Luffy was the one doing the DJ stuff, and then it switched to Sanji or some shit. Like the 90% of the way through. It's like none of that stuff ever matters.
But you're sure that it's not hinting that page one's gonna betray Kaido because of he's facing away like Drake is.
Okay,
Is that what you're saying?
dude, Jack and Who's Who as well. They're all betraying.
I
Imagine
love, before
that.
we move on from this page, I love that the Flying Six are so colorful, and then you have King and Queen in this black and white stripes and fucking all black, and at least Jack has some color on him, but like, King
Yeah,
has to be the edgiest dude we've seen since Katakuri.
since Katakuri, I agree.
Yeah, he is really edgy. I mean, he's got
There's
like
gonna be something, man.
on like
There's gonna be something. really-
what's the word, like those spikes, like they're not
Studs.
helpful, like they're just all for decoration. Like he's got these
His-
spikes where like
he-
if he were to like
no,
if he were to like
I wouldn't
lean
say
over or
that.
something, like he's gonna poke his eye out.
I wouldn't say that for sure because I feel like people thought the same thing about like Katakuri's like knee or whatever, and then he ended up fucking Luffy up with it or some shit.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
if he
King's
does a
not gonna
shoulder
shoulder
bash.
anyone,
I don't know,
probably.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's just
I mean,
more
he
of a-
might.
yeah, who knows, dude.
But then, like,
but
Pika didn't.
Not Katakuri. King is so edgy, but like, dude, something really goofy is gonna happen with him. I know every fucking fan in the world is gonna be so mad. I'm gonna love it every second of it.
His
Yeah.
face is probably super fucking ugly or something, and that's gonna be the
Yeah.
gag. Like, no one can fight seriously if they see
That or
him.
ulti. It might happen with ulti too.
I don't think
Oh,
he'll have
yeah.
an ulti. I don't
I
because
don't know. Oda's
uh,
probably too afraid. He doesn't want to fuck it up. He doesn't want to ruin the waifu.
Alright.
I don't know.
So, on the topic of ulti, real fast, her mask doesn't transform when she does, but Page One's does.
Her what doesn't?
The mask.
Uh,
But then
I
when
mean,
Page
I think
One changes,
it's mostly
does.
just like, I guess his dinosaur is like has a huge ass mouth, while hers is like more like a beak like sort of thing. Like,
yeah.
I think that's sort of.
I mean,
why,
how would
but-
you make Page One's mask work on his dinosaur form, right? Like, how would that even?
I mean, but it's just weird that one does and one doesn't. And I think Drake has something similar in Shabandi when he changes too.
Yeah, and then when he changed this time though, he didn't have his mask or something, right? In this arc, I think
I
last
wanna
chapter.
say
he didn't have
yeah.
it.
yeah, I think it was last chapter we talked about it because I remember I joked about how Apu knocked it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it doesn't really matter. It's just Oda does it whatever he thinks would look coolest. that's his
Yeah,
go-to.
I'm sure that's all it is.
Yeah.
But why don't we get into the actual chapter here?
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Let's just not. Let's just keep looking at this.
So what even is the title of this chapter? I can't remember because it doesn't
The
say.
Honorable Hyogoro the
Honorable
Flower.
Ogoro the flower.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, it does say it there. I'm just blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the first page. So yeah, the first thing I guess we can notice is that the crosshair thing. I've seen people talking about that from what's her name that I forgot the name of.
Bao Huang.
Balfong.
Bao Huang, yeah. She like, is that like part of the cyborg-esque thing where she's
Yeah,
like,
see, that's what I was thinking of. Because there's an actual beeping to it.
and it also said when it was introduced, these cyborg things themselves, it said something along the lines of like them being connected to the human versions or whatever. So I guess she might be like one of the human. What did they call them?
Marys.
The
Marys,
Marys.
yeah. They said human Marys. So I guess she might be like a human Mary that's connected to one of the animals that are looking through.
I
Whatever.
thought you were the ringleader of them. Like
She could
everything
be
just comes
she could be that as well, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But they also did say that like the animals are connected to the human Marys.
right,
so-
yeah.
That's another possibility. I've seen people talking about it being like observation hockey related and stuff, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah, that's a little far.
yeah.
What-
You referencing like Usopp's awakening of observation or whatever.
Yeah,
That-
it's just
Uh,
easier to be a cyborg, like it was said too in machines.
yeah, especially with the beep, like, and looking through the clothes and everything. Like, I don't know. But anyways, that was just something I wanted to get out of the way.
Yeah. So yeah, Yamato escaped. She's whooping ass. Everything like that.
Momo's
He's
finally
having
happy.
the time of his life.
I can't tell if he's happy or not. Like his
He
expression.
totally
He's
is.
definitely happy.
His expression is like it's like half panicked, half like happy.
There's heartbeat fucking there's heartthrob.
Yeah, I was gonna say the bump.
on
The
it.
bump.
Yeah, is that him? I thought it
Yeah.
might have been hers because
I guess like
she's
technically
breathing
since
heavy, but
his ears against it, but I'm pretty sure it's just him. He even has the flared up nostrils and everything. Like it's
Yeah.
gotta be.
yeah,
But
yeah,
he
true,
does have
that's
that
a good-
half worry too, though. To be fair.
But yeah, it was good stuff. And then this way, Shinobu, can we? And then I like how Shinobu as a ninja is the one that suggested the less visible route or whatever.
Yeah,
And then Yamato's just fucking sprinting through like Luffy would.
One
and
thing
Ace
I
whatnot.
wanted to mention, I don't want to get too hopeful,
Mhm.
but they're going upstairs here, so I'm just wondering where they're going.
The third floor. Right? Wasn't there?
No. The third floor is where Sanji is right now. So I'm wondering,
Okay.
did they didn't have like a specific goal? They just got discovered and now they're running, right?
Did they not? Okay, they might not have. Yeah.
So I'm wondering, I'm hoping that somehow that leads to what I've talked about in the past is some kind of dialogue with Kaido and Yamato and Momo.
I'm I think that would be later in the arc. I'm
Yeah,
much more
probably would
interested
be later.
in seeing them meet up again with with the scabbards personally.
Yeah,
That's what I want to see.
that'd be good. Probably.
And that actually leads into like the next thing where Sanji's like deciding which way he wants to go based on the young master Yamato and uh and the scabbards. Um I think it's possible that he won't go to the scabbards. I think why would you provide this like this what if situation if he's just gonna go back to the place he already planned on going to, you know?
I agree with that, but I also think there's another reason why.
Why?
I think he's probably used his observation hockey and then realized Yamato's a woman, so he's gonna head there.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
That would be a.
I wonder if he can tell that.
I mean, he saw that
a
Tashigi
woman's
cried.
inner voice.
I mean, Tashigi cried, and he was like, "Boom, I'm there." So
Yeah. It's
Yeah, his thing
possible.
was always he could hear like a woman crying out for help, but
But yeah,
Yamato
Yamato
is
doesn't need help.
like the strongest
yeah,
person
I'm not too
there.
sure it's like he could just sense all women's location or if it's like he can hear specifically them crying out for help. And I feel like it's the latter personally. Uh it wasn't really portrayed in like that type of way either. He's like this way or this way and then he just decides on a quick little moment, you know?
they're not gonna show why he decided, or else it'll be too obvious which way he went.
Just another bait and switch from Oda for another Sanji gag.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, wherever he ends up, I'm excited to find out. But
I mean, he probably just went to go help Hawkins if we're
oh no.
being real here.
Let's not do this.
I mean, let's say Sanji
I mean, he
does
did
go
say he
to
was
the.
going to the scabbards.
Let's say he does go to Yamato. Who's gonna deal with Jack?
I don't know. Maybe the Scabbards get up in time, but I don't think it's been portrayed that way that they're going to get up in time. If you ask me. So like,
I concur.
yeah, I think like if they were all conscious and like up, then they could handle Jack because they're both injured. And Inu and Neko both
Yeah.
did it relatively handle. If it was all of them, they'd whoop his ass basically. but-
Especially with Jack's statement of like even like battered and beaten or whatever, don't underestimate the 9 scabbards when he was talking to why am I blanking on names right now?
He was just talking to
Black Maria.
Black Maria.
Black
yeah.
Maria, yeah,
Okay,
Black Maria.
wasn't fodder.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was thinking he was
Yeah.
saying that to his.
He was
subordinates, but-
saying even he no,
It's
I
on
think
the
he was
phone.
he was
Yeah, he was on the
he was
phone.
saying it specifically to Black Maria. He said the word Black Maria, I'm pretty sure, and told her not to like that she wouldn't be able to handle them even when they're like down and beaten and whatnot.
Yeah, he's
So
right.
That's correct.
so I
Yeah.
feel like that's like trying to imply to us that they aren't like down for good, right? Like they probably will get up and fight Jack.
Oh,
if
of
he
course
shows
not.
up.
I just don't know
Yeah.
if they'd get up in time for Jack being on the way. Like it feels like that's not what we're because like there's someone there to help them. It looks like they're like totally unconscious. And then like Jack is on the way. Then like the next chapter, I think, and it doesn't feel like they're gonna be like back up and ready to go. Like by the time he's there.
Well,
to
I don't
me.
know, man. It kind of just parallels Luffy going down after Dressrosa when Gear 4, blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know.
No, but,
Well-
but I'm just saying like we've seen before like if it's true that Luffy could have just ran if he wanted to during Dressrosa, but he just still was like fucking down and out of it. I feel like they might be able to get up then when if he shows up.
Yeah, if they're in a real bad situation and they're at least conscious by then they can get up. Yeah.
It could just be
Well-
conserving energy or whatever.
I see 3 potential people that could help, or 2 potential people, and then a group. So the Minks could go from they're at the right below. They're like right below the roof. Maybe they'll head to the Scabbards. We don't know. And then they could have like Jack fight version 2.0 or something, and that'll give the Scabbards enough time to wake up, basically. Or you could have Mr. Caribou himself makes an appearance,
That was
or
actually terrible.
or Hawkins makes an appearance, and those are the only options that I can think of. That
What about Hiyori, bro? Can't she
I don't.
hold him off?
No, I don't. I do not believe so.
Well, Sanji is still an option. He could still be going.
Yes,
there
if Sanji chooses to, yeah, he could still fight Jack if he goes that way.
I think it's possible that maybe Sanji meets up with Momo and them, and then tells them like, "Yo, this is where the scabbards are," or whatever, and then Momo and them end up going to there, and Sanji goes to provide help elsewhere. Maybe trusting like Yamato to be able to handle Jack or some shit, or Yamato like
Well-
assuring Sanji that she'd be able to handle the people over there and protect them. Maybe.
Well, Jack should get there way before Yamato would be able to get there, so I don't think that's a reasonable option.
We don't know their speed stats, bro.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
Abe
that's
definitely
what
be there
that's what this whole situation is trying to portray is how
before. Yeah, he's
if you
gotta
go
pick
to one direction, you won't be able to make it in the other one.
Yeah. I feel that. It's tough to say really. What's gonna happen? I feel like Oda's doing that on purpose too. Obviously, he's just trying to keep a bunch of things up in the air. Who's going
That's
where?
perfect. This is just
who's
gonna
doing what.
be. It's like just like Sanji. He's gonna pop up in the right place at the right time.
But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be
But also the skull entrance would be would also lead to where all the fighting is with like Marco, Perospero, Queen, and King. So that's where Sanji would be going towards.
Yeah,
if
I
he were
think
to
that's
choose that route.
Yeah,
like
So
basically either way, Sanji is about to run into one of the All Stars. I think is
Yeah.
kind of what I felt from this. Like wherever he goes, he's going to end up in a battle with one of the All Stars.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's just
and
whichever one.
with this like bait and switch going on, I don't think it's gonna be Jack anymore. Mainly
could
because of
be.
that. I think he's probably going to the dome entrance, which would be where King and Queen are at right now with Marco.
Yeah,
mostly, right?
and Marco is just about to be overwhelmed. So
yeah,
but
he would need the help.
yeah. Anyway, then we see the island getting pretty what seems to be pretty friggin' close to the flower
So I
capital.
looked at the map actually. So the
He should be right over.
flower,
right?
yeah, the flower capital is southeast of the fucking Mount Fuji, and then Onigashima is directly south of Wano. So that means he would like, based on this positioning, he would have brought the island already like right above the capital almost at this point.
Yeah,
like, it's already there,
like
basically.
just about, yeah.
Yeah. So it's on the correct side of the Mount Fuji and everything already.
Yeah, it's pretty bad news. Pretty good news, I think, for the timer people. There's
I
no
don't think so.
There's no stopping this unless literally Zunisha comes in. There's no stopping this island coming down.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to evacuate.
I'm starting to think that potentially it does actually come down.
Yeah, I mean it's like right there. So I mean, I don't. It's not. Obviously, Oda hasn't told us it's right there. It just looks like it, right? Like he'll take a moment when it's like, oh yeah, the island is right here. He'll show us that, but it's
definitely
close.
though, at the very least.
And there's not like some big timer either that's been going on. It's progressed all this way since then. So
Yeah, and I'd also like to add that none of the fucking fights are like anywhere near clearing up and finishing.
oh
and whatnot.
yeah, and there's nothing anybody on the island as far as we know, besides like Crackpot, Momo, Fruit Awakening theories, can do about this. Nobody's gonna be able to do anything.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
I know we haven't been buying into that Act 3 thing lately, but if there is a tragedy, it could be that if it were
Yeah.
to go by that hypothetical structure, it could be that it actually does land and yada yada.
and all the people on the rooftop are defeated, and that's how the act ends.
Yeah, possibly.
So
Yeah.
Or
Anything else
perhaps
to say about
Bouncy Island.
Oh no. dude. We talked about that. That would be so funny. Everyone
be
just dies
so good.
anyways, but it's bouncing around and killing even more because of it.
I feel like there's some weird scenario where I mean, obviously this isn't gonna happen, but Oda could like make it a gag and it just like bounces off, but nothing happens, and then it just like bounces somewhere safe. I could actually
no,
see
'cause
him doing that.
If it bounced, it would still crush everyone. They would all still die.
Dude, it's held up by the ruins of. Oh wait, no, those got blown up when Kaido blew them up.
He also he has to simultaneously turn Onigashima and the capital of Wano into rubber. And
You'd also have to turn the people into rubber.
no, the people hide in the buildings that are rubber, so then they'll be safe.
Ah, yes. Well, what if the buildings still get crushed even if they were rubber though?
They would just bend downwards like
Yes, and the people are
No,
inside.
no. This is what he does, dude. This is what he does. He turns the island into rubber, then he turns the mountain into rubber, and he pulls the
Oh,
mountain
shit.
back like a big
Yeah,
back,
it's gonna
and
slap-
launches
slap
it out of there.
Onigashima.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm so down for that. That'd be sick as fuck.
that'd be fucking nuts.
Dude,
Dude, and then Usopp comes in and he snipes it away. Oh fuck yeah, dude.
That would be some shit. Oh man, I really am. Unless either it's coming down and maybe some of the citizens die, some of them evacuate, or if Oda's planning on saving a bunch of people, then it literally has to be Zunisha that comes. Like there is no other option here.
Yeah, and Zunisha like has to play a part in Wano, right? Like,
I think
out
the
of everything
seeds.
that
I think the seeds are laid down, man. Like we had Momo stay behind for 2 weeks. We have this. We have this ancient like bond between Kozuki and the Minks, and then we have that thing like during that missing time when the crew went to Whole Cake and some people went to Wano. Neko went to go look. Momo stayed at Zoe for a while and was like
Dude.
specifically talking about trying to figure out more about Zunisha.
We get like Zunisha like using Shave or Soru from like outside the island and teleporting under.
Oh lord.
I made it just.
Takes off so hard, it just leaves a fucking crater in the ground, and that's a new attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that face that Momo's making is communicating with the Zunisha face.
Yeah.
Uh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's looking pretty bad. Like this chapter, as it goes along, basically what we're seeing, like on the next page we see Carrot, Wanda defeated, Paris goes in. Right, like everybody's having trouble. Like as far as we see,
Yep.
yeah,
The safer like Frankie. So
yeah.
Frankie's
Frankie seems to be doing okay. And
Jinbei
like
too.
Robin and Jinbei, they're doing
Yeah.
all right. But like a lot of the other people are getting overwhelmed.
Yep.
Yeah,
They've
so-
got a lot going on right now. Which moves us to the next page.
Yeah, so besides Zunisha, let's talk about the other elephant in the room, Adam, about Perospero leaving them alive.
I think Red might be the only one that was not a part of this conversation at all. But yeah. So Perospero decided not to even try to kill Wanda or Carrot, which
He's
is
a cocky bastard.
he is a cocky bastard and he's a sadistic bastard. We had this huge conversation about it. Because
Yeah.
most
We did.
me and Juba had a really big one, and then Fats and Bean chimed in as well. And it was basically I didn't really agree with him leaving them alive because he granted this was based off the scanlations and not the Viz official, which had sort of changed the wording a little bit, but still it's still like, oh, you understand that Carrot and Wanda are like a really big threat to you because they could have
Because
won
if
because
the-
of their
If the moon came out.
yeah, if the moon came out again, they could probably beat him. So he would realize like, and Perospero is like not a stupid guy. Like he understands that. So I was like, well, at least he could have like candified them like he did versus Brook and Chopper, because they basically went against Big Mom too, just like Carrot did, and Carrot has like this personal vendetta against Perospero.
Yeah. The way
And he knows it's a personal vendetta too. So
the way I see it is that Perospero is a sadistic fuck, and like very very cocky and like condescending and whatnot. I think he just like didn't care to leave to kill them or take the time to kill them because he just literally finds joy in like talking shit like this and just walking off.
He's
that's
he's like relishing that they are so beneath him that he just leaves them there to suffer and
Yeah.
insults them and then leaves.
If you remember Whole Cake Island, he also like went on a whole speech while all the Vinsmokes were trapped, and like Katakuri kept saying like, "Yo, hurry up, wrap it up, Parasparrow." And Parasparrow's like, "Yo, hold on," and he just kept talking shit about them being like, do the cows something about the slaughter, yada yada, and
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
yeah. So like that, I feel like Parasparrow's been pretty consistent in just like his lack of fucking caring and whatnot.
Yeah, but
And
he
he's
thought
doing
they
whatever
were
it
going
takes.
to die also, though, and like even if they did escape his candy, he wouldn't even be able to dream that they could escape anyway, because Big Mom's right there, Katakuri's right there. They'd be doomed anyway. So and then so unlike
Mhm.
this like Carrot and Wanda situation, they probably still can't get away technically, but they could come back and fight him again, and maybe
Yeah.
under better circumstances. And then you have like the Brook and Chopper situation on the boat. He basically like wrecks Brook and Chopper. They don't even hurt him. He just basically makes them into candy corpses, and then obviously the fucking Pedro explosion or whatever frees them, or something frees them.
Yeah.
I don't remember what, but
Yeah. When Parasparrow got hit, the candy like was undone and whatnot for the explosion. So yeah. I think Parasparrow relishes in his like cocky attitude and stuff too much to where like he finds so much joy in like talking down to them and leaving them like fucking battered and beaten that he literally doesn't care to kill them. I think that's just like his thing, and I feel like there's much more justification here than like a lot of situations earlier in the series where people just leave Straw Hats alive, like Khalifa leaving Sanji alive and stuff like that. There's like so much more reason for it, I think here, just like because it just matches his personality so well, and it's been consistent as shown in the thing in Whole Cake Island, even if it was a more extreme situation for them to be able to get out of. Katakuri was still like, "Hey, hurry it along. We've got people here. We're fighting people. Uh, get rid of them already before they get freed." And he still went on talking because he just enjoys this shit, and that's part of why I love him, dude. I fucking love Parasparrow here. This
He
is
is. He's deliciously evil. Like
This
Yeah.
is
he's just
honestly
great.
big. This is honestly Big Mom's entire crew, though. Like they do this shit constantly. It's kind of part of what had them getting damaged in Whole Cake Island. You know, they do this sort of rubbing it in the rookies' faces all the time.
Mhm. To an extent, yeah. There was a reason why like Luffy and Nami were kept alive more so than here though. On Whole Cake Island when they were like imprisoned and whatnot. Big Mom was rubbing it in their faces, yada yada.
Yeah, exactly. And here it's just like Wanda and Carrot are clearly worthless.
Yeah.
no, but they're
Like
not.
on
They're
their
clearly not worthless though. He realizes they're threats.
Yeah.
He does.
Um,
unlike
I
Brook
think
and
he does.
Chopper,
well,
unlike
and
Brook and Chopper, who were worthless, but Carrot and Wanda show that they're not.
I think there's also the possibility
eh,
you could consider that he recognizes that this storm is because of Big Mom, obviously. Um, so he's literally just doesn't expect Big Mom to get taken out or anything to where the storm would just dissipate for some whatever reason, right?
and yeah, and
Consider
you
that
know,
as well.
he's about to waltz into a place where they're, as far as he knows currently, they're heavily outnumbered, and he just has a bunch of allies there willing to help him. Like Carrot and Wanda
Yeah.
are really not threats to him here.
Yeah.
They're
I also want to point out the
They
wording
are.
potential
He's just
victory.
like trying to make it out to them especially that they are not.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to frame it like they're not. That's a better way of putting it. But like
Mhm.
naturally, if they can get up and actually get going, I'm sure they could kill him.
Yeah.
But
And him leaving them alive kind of emphasizes that like you're so beneath me, I don't even
That's
need
like
it.
a bit of
yeah,
his delusion. Not like that he's totally delusional, but it's like his own vanity and his pride in like the Big Mom
yeah,
pirates
the
and like his
hubris
crew,
with it.
and same with like that. Yeah, exactly, his hubris. We see a lot of that, like, and we see that when he's talking about, well, I guess I'd have to be the next captain of the crew, you know, like it's that kind of thing with him. He's just, yeah, I like Paris a lot. He's great. I love how he spins his cane around. He's just like kind of
Yeah, as
he's
people
like he
also
might as well be skipping into Onigashima. He's just like, oh, yes, well, time to go show these children what to
For
do."
real.
Yeah.
I fucking love him, dude. He's so good.
Yeah, he's
I
great.
love that
I
he
can see
lifts
why.
Carrot up with the arm that Pedro took too.
Yeah, that's great too.
Big slap in the face. I do also love that little tidbit. Just that it is because of Big Mom, right? That the moon's covered. That's
Yeah.
just awesome.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. And he's like rubbing that in. He's like, "Oh, it's all luck of the weather above," but he's like, he knows it's not luck, right? I don't know. I think it's dope. He's so fucking condescending. He's literally one of my favorite characters lately in the series. Like everything he did during Whole Kick as well and everything. He's been so fun. Adam, I can actually understand where you're coming from though. I can get that kind of frustration of like people not finishing threats off and whatnot, but I really don't. It's been a thing in the series since literally the series started. I have no fucking care in the world for that stuff.
See, and
Yeah,
it's like
it's not
you
that.
think, but you think about it, but you see like what he says here. If you didn't want to see your friend die, then you should have stayed in the forest and nibbled at your grass, rabbit. So now it's
Yeah.
like, but you could say the same thing about her being in this area right now. Like, if you didn't want to see your friend die, then like it's like the exact same situation here, but no one's dying. So it's like,
Well, he's throwing her down into the dirt, you know? He's giving him a meal of grass right now, you know? He doesn't wanna take him out, he wants him
Okay.
to nibble on the grass. Yeah, I don't know. I think
get it though. It doesn't.
yeah.
I think it's in character for me, but I get where you're coming from. Like,
Yeah,
but
it's
damn,
totally
if he really wanted to torment Kara, he could have just fucking put Wanda in a fucking candy corpse and just left, and that would have been.
Yeah, he could've, but I think the
And
idea
I
here
thought
is
that would
that
have been really cool, but
I think the
that would
idea
have
here is
tormented her.
Adam,
Yeah.
I think the idea here is that he expresses that he's going after her friends at this very moment. He's gonna show these children what an Emperor of the Sea can do and whatnot, right? That is the friends that may die due to her uh interfering and whatnot, right?
The other thing is like if he did that and then there comes up the dreaded term the P word but Oda, it's gonna be really tough to have somebody stumble across either of them in a candy corpse unless they were just really intended to die, right?
Yeah, no
And I
one's
think
coming back.
Oda just doesn't. Yeah, like if something happened to them out there, they would just be dead, flat out.
Also, he has to actually like sit there and manage it. You know, it didn't seem like he could just drop it and leave, and it would just keep going.
Yeah, there might be a distance.
Maybe
well.
I don't know.
Yeah, like I doubt he would want to sit there and just slowly get them to creep up. Like maybe encasing them in candy and leaving it, but
Would
then
work maybe, yeah.
since they can use Electro as well, that probably help them break out.
I think it's just an in character thing where he literally he thinks they're so beneath him. He wants them to believe that they are so beneath him that him
Yeah.
leaving them alive like emphasizes that fact.
Yeah, even if they are a legitimate threat to him in some way, sure, it doesn't seem like it right now, but like let's say the moon came back out. In general, these people are worthless to him. Like a quick few minutes of luck, and they still couldn't put him down. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's really
I
the
do
big
want
thing,
yeah.
like he's still strolling away. He has pretty much barely a scratch on him here.
Yeah. He got hit in the beginning. I think the initial hits are what that damage is from, like the blindside ones when the first encounter happened. But he probably didn't have too much trouble taking him out here. And then and I do want to point out that your potential victory should require the luck of the weather above. That doesn't mean that they would definitely win or he knows they would win. He
Yeah,
just
that
knows
was
they'd have
that
more
was
of
the
a
fan scan problem where it was basically saying, "Hey, you would have won if this didn't happen."
Oh, yeah, I didn't remember entirely.
Yeah.
That's kind of janky, yeah.
No, I can't see it with like if he were bloodied up more, missing like another arm or like had his tongue chopped off or some shit.
Dude, I think he's gonna get an uppercut to his fucking chin and he's gonna get his tongue bit. That's gonna happen.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I can't wait for it.
That's how he dies. Not because he bites his tongue off; it just swells up so much it chokes him.
Yeah, I don't know. I love Perisparrow. I respect your opinion though, Adam. I can actually in this case I can understand why you'd be frustrated, but I'm sure you also can see.
I mean, I
why
understand
we
that
feel
Carrot's
it.
gonna fight him later, so I know why it has to be done.
Yeah. It
And
could happen.
Carrot's they're gonna
He
she's
might.
gonna fight him in the dome, and the moonlight's gonna shine through the hole in the ceiling in the dome, and boom, she's gonna uppercut him.
Good spot.
For like that one
though.
split second, it'll be a really quick transformation.
I'm not 100% that Carrot will come back into play with Perispero though. I think other things could happen. Not sure what at the moment though. Like right now he's gonna we go to the next page, right? Fuck. Actually, it's not the next page. It's later.
No,
Shit.
it's like the end of the chapter.
Damn it. Okay. Well.
I don't even remember
well,
what you're referencing, so it's okay. But next page.
Okay. I'll bring it back up when we get to it.
Yeah. Ah, fuck.
Yeah, that's what he says. I can't go on. Ah, fuck.
Their stamina's
Right.
finally running out.
Yeah, so they've expressed that the blue flames are causing their stamina to go out though. That's weird.
Yeah, it's like bringing it out of them and then using it too fast.
Yeah,
kind of.
it's like
what
a
it said is-
double-edged sword.
Yeah, in the earlier chapter, like earlier chapters when Marco first used the technique, it said that it uses their stamina to heal them.
And then that was
Oh,
the big
yeah,
thing when
yeah.
the stamina ran out. They changed back.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you're right. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
So they've got all that stuff going on. Chopper's doing doctor stuff.
Chopper's doctoring.
Yeah. Apu's still fucking going at it. You know, my fucking supernova. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
I mean, until like Queen dies, he kind of has to, or his life is on the line. To be fair.
no, I mean, like he's not knocked the fuck out, or like people thought he was.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, Apu got one shot. He's been fighting. He's doing fine.
He honestly doesn't look much worse off than like Perispero does right now too.
I liked his line better in the fan scans. Apu's. It was something like spare him your whining, he won't listen. Or it was like something like that. It wasn't like bestowing mercy on crybabies. Yeah, it was like it was a little weird, but yeah.
You cray baby, doo head. Yeah, I feel that. The intention comes across regardless, though.
Yeah,
It's a cool line.
He's cool.
nonetheless.
He's standing tough. He's still up after all that shit. He's
I
still
like
fighting.
that he like recognizes it. He's not like freaking out or like why would Queen
Not like
do
he
this?
initially did. Yeah, he was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? And then now he's just
Yeah,
like,
now he
he's
like
yeah, he's
recognizes.
cool
He's
with
like,
it.
okay, this is Queen. This is what he does. I'm going at it. And then we get this panel with X Drake and Hyogoro, where we get confirmation that it was Hyogoro actually like back to his fucking normal form.
Although he's only using one sword now and not the two swords that we saw him the last chapter.
The reason I think that is that his left arm is back to Ice Oni form-ish, right?
That
So
is
he's got
true.
the long nails. It's just
Could-
maybe he can't like hold a sword. I don't know.
That could be it. But he also never used two swords before either. It was kind of weird
In the
seeing him
previous
hold.
chapter he did. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's why I thought maybe it wasn't him, because besides it being weird that he's big again, Hyogoro only ever used like one sword, even in the flashbacks.
Yeah, he probably just picked it up to fight and then toss it away. I don't.
Yeah,
Not like
it's like
I don't think
Drake
it's-
here. Drake's just got like random. He's like picked up random shit. He's just going at it.
No, this is Drake's.
No,
actual
this is
weapon.
what he always uses.
Both of
He
them.
uses an actual sword.
Yeah, but-
Really?
yeah. Because don't you remember he blocks like Eroge with one weapon, and then he blocked whoever else with the other weapon.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, yeah, that's
an
right.
axe and a rapier, I think, or whatever.
Oh, the killer was the other one.
That's
I think?
weird. That never came across to me. That's interesting.
He also uses it earlier when he first switches over and
Yeah.
knocks out one of the numbers.
I guess I just
remember he's
don't
just
pay too much
a-
attention to Drake.
He's just dinosaur with a sword. Yeah.
And
Um,
an axe, and a four-headed axe, which
He's a-
really that's metal as fuck.
he's
I
just a
wish he got
dinosaur
more
with a
screen
sword.
time with that.
No. Dinosaur sword.
One kind of cool thing about Hyogoro with the ice demon stuff going on is he's looking more like the Wisdom King that he's based on, with the fangs and everything coming in.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. That is especially later in the chapter, but yeah.
Yeah.
So move on to the next page, and we see who they're facing up against. Hyogoro is, that is. All the ninja boys come out.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to see these guys do things, and then 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 Hyogoro just
It's
well,
like
well,
bringing me back to like Lao G, dude. This Hyogoro stuff.
yeah, that's what I thought it was gonna be, but based on this chapter, it explains it otherwise. It
That's what
is
I
the
was hoping it would be.
stamina. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this explanation, to be honest.
Oh, I didn't mean
Yeah.
that. I just meant like, like shriveled old man, but getting like super buff. Like,
Oh yeah.
that's all.
Yeah. But the explanation with Lao G, I could buy more than what is going on here, I'd say.
Honestly,
Really?
the Lao G one was weirder to me. Like he
Yeah,
somehow
I
saves
think
up his youth.
Yeah, Lao G's was like
yeah, I think this one makes sense from what we know about the virus. So
Does it?
This one makes more
Lao G's
sense
is, like,
being
entirely martial
external
arts.
versus Lao G just using a Qigong technique.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Lao G seemed like a character specific thing. Like this is I purposefully did this to allow myself to do this at this time thing. Whereas Hyogoro's is like, oh, by chance, like I was old, but now I'm like young because of this thing that's using all my stamina, and somehow that makes me like larger again. And like
so like the
young.
virus is bringing out like this like the inner strength within people. Like I think that's what was like explained when it was like when Queen first shot it out at people. Like the ice demon form is like you're like like your innate strength basically, and
It's Sulong.
this is sort of
It's really all
utilizing
it
that.
is.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's just Sulong for
the weird thing about it is that like if it was doing exactly that, then it would just it would use what he had left. It wouldn't revert him back to like that's a very hyper specific thing where it's like in exchange for the rest of my life force, I now am back to the form that I once was. Wouldn't it just make him stronger as he is and bring out what he could do as is instead of like reverting in that way? It's so
if
weird.
this weren't One Piece, you would be absolutely correct. Yeah, it is kind of weird that he changed his body back instead of just having the strength that he used to in a smaller form, which would have been an interesting.
No,
fact.
I'm not even saying strength that he used to in a smaller form because it's bringing out the inner strength that he has at the moment, not the inner strength he used to have. So it's
Yeah,
like it shouldn't be able to do what it's doing to me. And I feel like Lao G's made more sense because of that. Because it's like
Yeah,
a very
that's fair.
hyper specific like technicality going on here. And what comes of it is cool. I like that. I don't mind what comes of it, but I would have preferred it to be some sort of technique that he knew or something. Rather than it just
yeah,
being like
that made more
random.
sense for like the physical change for sure. I would have accepted just him being small and doing it.
Yeah, if you were small and was still like strong or something, I would have been a little bit more. But like now the fire's coming out of his hair again, a bunch of weird shit. It's like
Yeah, is that fire or is that actual hair? Did his hair grow back?
No, that would be his
That's
Fire
just
his
his hair.
hair. It's
Yeah.
hair. It's his hair because if it was fire, then it would fucking melt the ice.
Yeah, it's hair. It's his hair.
true.
That's how his
But,
hair
like-
looked in the flashbacks and everything.
But
That's
then
his
but then
hair.
like in the next page. Okay, let's go one at a time. So yeah, he explains all that stuff that we just talked about, yada yada. And then he explains that if he transforms into an Ice Oni, that he would like to be ended before anything happened to them, due to at his own hands or
I
whatnot.
like how they hype him up too. It's like, yeah, no one here can take him out if he flips.
Yeah, I never got the impression he was this strong, but like they're hyping up heavy.
He
So-
is
No,
like he's like the
they
king
hyped him
Yakuza
up.
of
He was stronger than
Wano
any of the scabbards. Any of the scabbards, he was stronger than.
at the
Yeah, he
time.
was
So-
at the time. yeah.
Directly.
He
Yeah, back in the
probably-
day,
He
I
was
just-
probably
directly-
still was.
Well, what we know is just basically that yeah, like among the big figures in Wano, like the strongest people are like him, the Yakuza bosses, and then
Yeah.
the scabbards. Like those are the
Okay, so the reason I'm saying that is what happens like later. Everything that I'm referencing is like
it's fine.
2
yeah.
pages ahead, so I'm just gonna say it.
Just, like, just
Uh,
keep it.
What he says to Odin, or like what he's thinking to himself about Odin, like if both of us teamed up at that time, I wonder what would have happened against Kaido, and that's like that makes it seem like he's putting himself on Odin's level, but I never got that impression from him, from like how everything was explained before, and like Odin is like that big shit, you know, like
Yeah, Kaido actually pointed out that Hyogoro would have been a key factor in their fight if they'd actually joined forces. People like to say that
True.
Kaido admits they would have lost, but he just calls it a really tough fight if that had happened. So he was really trying to avoid it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Hyogoro was always basically either as strong or like right behind Odin as far as at least the respect of strength goes. Yeah, at least the respect of strength. Like people respected him as much as Odin, and Odin looked up to him.
Okay.
Like I think I remember him. He was slapping around Odin at one point, or maybe that was fuck. What was that little guy's name? Yasui.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I maybe I'm just misremembering the flashback and how stuff like that was portrayed. But I
They-
remembered it being like his mention being like more one off.
Yeah, they really make him more of a throwaway whenever he does get mentioned, but he's always mentioned very highly. It's
Okay.
just it's always like an aside, like, oh, there's Hyogoro. Yeah, he was kind of really strong, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, he knew advanced Ryo, so Baku.
He
Yeah, but so
only
does the
knew the
Scabbard.
second stage. He
That's
didn't know
still
all of it.
advanced. It's still advanced though. That might be. It might, for all we know, that's exactly what the Scabbards can do.
Well, I
Yeah,
don't think
it is.
so because the Scabbards are hurting Kaido, so it can't just be what the Scabbards are doing.
Well,
Uh,
I don't know. Hyogoro is a tough guy. Like on the next page, the guy calls him a legend. He's mocking him, right, about it, but what it says is that, around Wano, like even over the last 20 years and up till now, he was regarded as a legendary dude, right? So
Yeah, the legendary
yep.
my man. Yeah. So
flaming hair of holy rage.
regarding Legend, I like how what's his name? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Sunglasses man with the thing in his mouth. He
I
like
honestly
talks
never
down
remember
to
his
him.
fucking name. He's
Yeah,
supposed to be important, but he never shows
Yeah,
up
I
anywhere.
feel like
He's
it's
the
mentioned, like,
leader.
once.
He's the leader of the samurai force that Orochi had.
Yeah.
And he gets one shot.
Yeah, he just gets wiped, dude.
Yeah, I
Not
like
even
that he
by himself. One shot in a group.
I like that he downplays like it's just some relic of the past, and he's like,
You
nah,
old
dog.
and he's just like in the middle of his attack. Yeah,
Yeah,
just wipes him, dude.
I can't wait to see this shit animated, dude.
I'll wait as long as I can. Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention is that like he literally uses a fire attack here, so like maybe his hair's on fire. I don't know, or is it actually a fire attack, or is it a
I wouldn't be
visual
surprised.
representation?
I doubt, Zoro and Kinemon can do it.
I was actually gonna mention, do you guys think he taught Kinemon how to do it?
Maybe Kinemon just
No.
saw him do it at one point. I don't
No,
think he quite.
Actually,
But it's like, is that a technique from Wano? Like that's basically the idea that I get here. Like
It's hard to
I wouldn't
say.
attribute it to his hair being literally on fire. I'd say more like yeah, he can just do this like in the same way that Kinemon can.
Looking
Maybe.
at it again, though, they're getting sliced, so I'm not sure if it is like I think he dashed through them, and then like that's the stance he ended up in afterwards.
Yeah, you can see his sword moving in a really fluid way in that top panel too.
It's also
Yeah.
it's for me it's also just kind of hard to tell when things are like, I mean, it probably actually is fire, but sometimes I just wonder, it's like, is that like something else? Is that like artistic choice or like or like what is it? Right?
That's what I'm
It's
unsure
tough.
because of them getting sliced. There's nothing about them getting burnt or anything being shown here. So it's like,
wasn't
that
he
fire?
shown with fire in like some flashback?
There was like a
still
single
cam or
panel of him that like it looked like his hair was on fire. That's why I was thinking about that.
I didn't he have like an actual fire on him though too?
I don't know. But even then,
I
that could
don't
still be like a visual representation of like his power or some weird shit. I don't know.
It's weird that it's fire and he's called like Hyogoro the Flower.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want him to be called? The Hyogoro the Fire?
Flower.
Hyogoro the
It
Fire.
would fit more with the fighting style.
But I mean,
you know?
fire is like a blooming flower, dude.
Yeah, bro. It's bursting out. Those are the petals. Don't you see it?
The red flower.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
something artsy like
But
that.
But then he does go into the little Odin bit that we were talking about, and he essentially just kind of reiterates what Kaido worried about back in the day. You know, what would have happened if they were together, implying that it probably would have gone a lot different.
Or at least they'd have a better chance. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't actually even like just those two. It was Odin, Hyogoro, and all the Yakuza, because Hyogoro was their leader, as opposed to just 10 people fighting, 9 people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we see him continuing to like dash through them while he just slices them and shit. I think that fucking middle right panel is really cool.
Yeah.
Where
He's
he
cool.
like slices 3 people at once. It's like
Yeah.
Or is that even? No, wait, yeah,
That's
that
him,
is-
yeah.
that is him. For I thought that was Kawamatsu for a split second, and I thought it was like him thinking
What?
of Kawamatsu. No, because not in the middle, the guy on the left.
Yeah,
the-
right.
'cause of the
that
hat, I
really
was
big
like, oh.
fucker.
Oh, that's
Big
one of
dude.
the samurai guys that we see. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the big boy.
Yeah, I think he actually left the ninja guys alone. Actually, he just fought the samurai people.
Well, more like they left him alone. Yeah, the
Yeah,
smart thing
the
to do.
samurai
True,
are the ones
true.
that
The,
dash.
the ninja ran away. It's true.
Yeah.
He ran away, yeah.
Well, I think he was already fucking the ninja up, so like they just stopped coming at him, right?
Well,
Well, they
him
have to
and
get the
Ninja
chopper.
are facing off, and then he has his little speech about getting taken out, and then all of a sudden the samurai come in after that. So they kind of
Right.
like take over for the ninja instead, I guess.
Yeah.
And they do just so well. Just
They
so
do
well.
so well. To be fair, I want to say that like if Hyogoro is somehow comparable to Odin, then it's like they could. It's not like their fault, right? they just
I
they were
mean,
just unlucky.
it's not their fault, but clearly they know that he should be. You know, if this dude's acknowledging his whole legendary status, he could have second guessed himself like a quick second there, you know.
Well, I guess
Yeah, I
the
mean,
idea is that
Queen says, "Hey, he's gonna wipe out the entire floor." Like
yeah,
that's what he
after he
says.
sees them taking him out, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh
So
shit."
well, I think the idea is that like they heard of this legendary Yakuza boss, whatever. But I think this guy like considers himself relatively powerful, so maybe he like assumed that he was on par with himself, I
Yeah,
guess, and then
and
that's results.
that's fair.
He never got to
That's
see it
fair
because he
because
was
he
just a little
is.
brat when Hyogoro was actually
Exactly.
around. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, also
believe
true. Hyogoro was in jail by the time he really got into being a samurai, right?
Mhm.
Maybe I don't know how
Yeah.
old the guy is, but he's definitely young. So he probably just never saw it in person and he doesn't buy it. And
He's still got a full head of hair. That speaks volumes.
Yeah. But then we see him like literally taking out like one after the other, just taking out the samurai back to back to back, and then moving on after the samurai to like just regular Kaido crew members, and then he thinks about Luffy as his apprentice. And I think that's a cool fucking touch. I think that's really cool.
Yo, what's up,
I like
DFB? And yeah, it is nice. Because I feel like that kind of, in some ways, I didn't even really think of it that way, and I feel like that might be the same for some other people. Maybe I'm wrong, but you know, I never really, like, I obviously knew like he was training with Hyogoro, Hyogoro was training him, but it never put me together. It's like, yeah, that's like a master and apprentice thing, like,
Yeah.
and that's their connection. Like that never really struck me the same way that it did until just now.
Luffy brought Hyogoro to tears, didn't he, or some shit?
Well, yeah, they
multiple
had a big
times.
connection. It's just like
Multiple
yeah, he just never said like it just never stuck out to me that like he
I
considers
think
him his
Probably
apprentice
'cause we
I think it
didn't
maybe
get-
rather
didn't
than
last
like a
long enough.
savior or like anything like. Well, yeah, he knows he saved his life obviously, but it's like he calls him an apprentice here, and that's like a
I mean, it's Yoda and fucking
Somebody,
it's
yeah,
Luke.
Yoda
It's
and-
Yoda
right.
and Luke, yeah.
yeah, it's cool, dude.
25,000.
It's
other
nice touch.
Jedi.
Enough
Wow,
about
Red,
Hyogoro, dude.
Star Wars spoilers.
Hey man, this ain't hit the server, baby. You don't talk.
It's not an anime. It's okay.
Enough about
Yeah.
Hyogoro. Can we get to the Queen hype here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
Dude,
right,
this
yeah.
this
Queen-
dude's
Queen's
like got a
Tim.
cannon in his mouth, about to blast the hyper beam
Is that just like is that Vegapunk's technology? Like the
It's gotta be.
It's got to be
It has
something. He
gotta
knows. He
I
knows
don't think
Judge.
so.
He's got. It's not Vegapunk necessarily, but he's got his own beam. He knows who Judge is. He's a right. He's like a cyborg himself. He knows his way around this shit. So, and Frankie's been able to do that, even though Frankie, yes, was in Vegapunk's thing and whatever. But I
He
wouldn't
learned
be
it from
surprised if somebody else can make a kind of a beam. Yeah.
Well, I mean, also the pacifistas are all completely public now, so I could
Yeah, you could
him
think of that.
having
It's like, oh yeah,
perfect
maybe
Yeah.
last couple years,
pacifista
maybe
encounter.
capture
They
one
yeah,
something.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's-
I mean, if Frankie can engineer it, I'm sure Queen can like figure it out, you know.
Maybe.
Or black market shit. They literally just buy Pacifista
yeah,
and
pacifista. He looks
implant
at it, or
Yeah.
even he just looks at it and figures out how to do it or something. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way.
Man,
So we see him about to fucking blast him. Like, I don't know, man. Everyone's all preparing, and then fucking Marco cucks us, bro. I wanted to see Gogoro cut it in half. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Interesting thing with this, the Phoenix brand, the first time he uses it, it's just a quick like punch with his toe knuckle. It's what he uses to kick Big Mom's ship off the waterfall, but now he's launching concussive fire.
Was that what? Was
I
that the
can't
same
tell if he
with that?
launched it or not. It looked like it was
He-
like
he-
back.
yeah,
Maybe I don't
too.
know. Maybe
He
not.
had to.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Whatever. That's not that. I'm not too concerned about how.
I
Yeah,
do
he
want to.
launched it because Queen
He's
says it.
flying. He's away from it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Queen says it's a shockwave, so it couldn't have been
Yeah.
like a kick or anything.
Which brings us to like it's obviously we learned from Oda himself that it's not hot fire obviously, but
Yeah.
there is like an attack. You can use it as an attack still. It just has like a concussive or a shockwave like force on impact instead. Which is
Yeah, Oda never says the fires can't damage at all, right? Just they don't burn.
Marco
Yeah.
is just so good. I mean, we next then you don't even get to think about this samurai until you finish me off, and then like we see Queen actually launch his beam, which I love that panel. Might be
Yeah,
one
it's
of my favorites in the chapter, but then
And
like
Marco
just
just
below,
flies and dodges it.
Marco is just
I-
doing he's great this chapter. King comes in to
Everything
try and
about
cut him.
this
He
is
cuts him.
fantastic, yeah.
And then we see him like start doing some fucking like chakra ninja. Dude, it's like what the fuck? I did not expect him to ever do this. He starts like doing a pattern in the air, like whirling up a fireball. Like
And
Yeah, he, like,
that's probably what he shot
he's-
at Queen. Why is it a different attack?
It's larger, I guess. I don't know.
yeah,
I mean,
don't
is it
know.
because Queen is a Brachiosaurus, so that would have been fucking huge.
True. Yeah, I don't
But
know.
I really love this. I know it's really controversial that Marco can sit here and hold two commanders at once, but
It's not.
I don't see
like,
why.
fuck all of that. This dude's so fucking great.
Well,
He's definitely my favorite.
So
commander.
it's controversial if he would be able to take them both on at like on his own and actually come out on top or like
Oh
keep him
yeah.
keep at it. But like
But he can
obviously we
keep 'em at
learned
bay.
that we learned that he like as time goes on he's like he needs something to happen to prevent this from going the bad direction. Obviously.
Yeah, but like
Um,
the thing is, like, also he wouldn't be able to keep them on bay. Like King could just fucking leave, and if both King and Queen just tried to leave, he wouldn't be able to stop both of them. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he can. That's
no,
like the problem here.
No.
no.
he
The thing
can't.
is, Queen wants to watch over the floor, and King wants to make sure Marco doesn't go to the top. Although Marco obviously wants to stop Queen too, so it's like King could leave if he really wanted to, but he chooses not to.
Yeah. So Queen isn't leaving. Queen didn't go anywhere. Queen just started aiming his attack at the floor or whatever, and then while Marco was fighting them, he stopped Queen from doing that. And then King came in to Marco. He's holding them off rather than them
Well,
holding him off.
I don't know.
No,
dude.
he's
feel like
forcing
they-
them to pay attention to him.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be able.
Yeah.
They could just leave. Like in terms of all physical battle, like yeah, they could just leave, but they can't really because if
He
one
will
of them
chase them
leaves, the
down.
other one is like. It's not even just that. Like if one of them leaves, then I think Marco is pretty much free to do what he wants, which could be attack the other one and probably win against either one. potentially.
I
It'd
wouldn't
be
say
a
that.
tough. It'd be a
but-
tough fight, but like, you know, if
Either way,
like
he's
Queen,
tying
if
down someone permanently if one person leaves.
like if
Yeah,
King
yeah, I agree with
if
that.
King left, then Queen, you know, King needs to be there because then Marco can just fly up
Correct.
in the
Correct.
air.
But
If
I
Queen
agree.
leaves,
I
then
agree.
it becomes a fight. Yeah, it's like they're
Fats,
all
I
kinda
agree
stuck
with what
there.
Adam said is that they could physically leave if they wanted to. They could both walk
No, I know.
opposite directions.
I said
and they'd be able to get away.
that would be
Yeah.
fine. Yeah,
But
I
I
was
think
just,
Yeah,
we're,
I was
I
I think
just
feel
we're all on
like-
the
bringing
same
that
page
up.
there.
Well, I feel like Marco would just like chase him down, just be enough of a nuisance that they like
There would be,
physically
but if
couldn't leave.
then he wouldn't be able to. He wouldn't be able to chase the other one down if they're going the opposite direction. That was the idea being brought up. There are two here. There's not only one. So them leaving wouldn't be only one person leaving. Obviously, he
No.
could chase one of them down, but he wouldn't be able to chase both down. That's
He
what
might
Adam
be
was
able
bringing
to
up.
if he just like knocks one down and then goes to the other. Kind of like what he does here when he switches from king to queen, and he like crosses that decent distance after kicking or beating king into the building.
He doesn't. So what happens here is that Marco does his attack thing. He does Bluebird. That knocks King into the building, and then he obviously kicks off afterwards. This is one of the most dynamic panels ever.
I
Pages
fucking love
ever.
this fight. I
Luffy-
love this fight so
I mean,
much.
Luffy. Oda has like almost never done anything as like dynamic as this entire situation here, where he throws and then with the momentum of throwing, he like kicks off and like jumps in with the fucking people's knee. My man, fucking Captain Falcon coming through.
This is honestly a little more interesting to me than Big Mom and Kaido's fight. I'm not
now.
even gonna lie. I would love to see the end of
Big Mom and
this.
Kaido have been like kind of teasing around. They haven't been doing like their big stuff yet, but like these people are going all out right now.
Dude, that's a terrifying thought. They haven't done their big stuff yet.
Yeah. But I want to point out that he dive bombs him, whatever. Queen actually is climbing into the building that he threw King into. You can
Well,
tell by
I
the
was just referencing the distance, not like he went after Queen separately, but that he could close the distance so easily that he could kick one person down, then fly over and
No, he
grab
didn't
the
fly
other person
over.
anyway.
Queen is currently in the building, in that thing where he's
No,
going
no,
through the
no. The
rubble.
distance from when he knocks King away, he flies that to go and knee King. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Not like with reference to Queen, but like that gap, he just crosses really fast.
Yeah,
So I
with the follow
maybe he can just like attack one person, then go soar over to the other really fast potentially. That's the only thing like that I could see where he could keep them both in. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I guess they could both leave. I think Queen would have an easier time than King of doing it though.
Really? You think
'Cause-
Queen
'cause
feels
King
a lot slower to
is in
me?
the air. Yeah, he's slower, but he has like the covering of like corridors and
Sure, yeah.
you know, pathways and such. King's just kind of out in the open in the air. Marco can just soar and chase him down, you know.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But I don't know,
So
man.
if
This
anything,
entire
it's
fight is cool.
But yeah,
Um,
it is a really awesome fight.
So we see Queen like picking up like walking through the rubble of the building that he just kneed King through. And then immediately Marco just turns around and notices him and just comes flying at him with a kick. He like follows through with it too, to where he's like between the two buildings by the time he finishes like the impact of his kick. It's pretty
Yeah, I
wild.
never really got that before, but yeah, you're right, huh? I thought it was just like a quick scene change for Oda, but he really does like
Yeah, like the speed
Very
lines are
cool
hiding
style.
the building.
yeah.
He followed. No, I think he just followed all the way through because you could see the rubble on the left side
Yeah.
of the building.
And at the bottom there, you can actually see where his talons just scratched the shit out of Queen's face too. It's brutal.
Yeah, I think that was part of the evidence. I think was there to like counteract, like because people were saying that this was like a flying kick and Queen was coming out of the other building that he just got kicked into. But I think his talon marks being on his face is like proof of that being not the case. He like walked into the building and whatnot. I don't know. This entire fight has just been fucking nonstop. Like, it's only like 3 panels, but it's just so fucking nutty, dude. Or 3 pages, I mean.
Yeah,
It's, like-
it's fucking great. I love it. It's one of the best fights so far. Shit.
I think it's like literally top 5 like most dynamic sequences Oda's ever done, in my opinion. Just the way
At-
everything is portrayed.
And it's nice how mobile Marco is being too, and they're not just sitting there like clashing blades or trying to overpower each other, but he's like bouncing from person to person,
Exactly.
flying around, doing a variety of techniques. It's really
So
nice.
fucking dynamic. I love
Yeah.
it. And the way the like the like sonic booms that come out when he's like diving in with his knee, like
Right.
circling around his trail. It's so sick, dude. Which is
And
so fucking sick.
something I love that the characters keep referencing because I know it pisses off power scalers. Um, how he's holding off two people worth over $1 billion at once, or 1 billion berries. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
At once, and you know there's that old okay bounties aren't power levels, but at the same time, Oda's kind of leaning into him heavy lately for that.
Okay,
They've always been an
yeah.
indicator. I don't know why
They've
people
always
say
been
that.
part of it. Yeah,
They
there's
have,
definitely
Sometimes they
people.
but
aren't,
more
but
so
like
lately.
most of the time they are. It's
Yeah.
not like an exact level,
I mean,
but
people
it's like
people don't
yeah.
like putting it. Yeah, that's why
That's
people
what the
like.
system's always been for. But yeah, like the warlords with the frozen bounties, or maybe Luffy's isn't as accurate as it could have been at some points. It's like, yeah,
I
well,
think
of
like
course.
Yeah,
like
which
some
is
exceptions
purposeful.
are like Paraspera's probably higher than a 700 million berry. Like he's probably like more like closer to someone higher up, you know, in the
Well,
big
he was
scale.
repping that pretty proudly too.
Yeah, for sure. I feel that. I don't know.
But
Paraspera's
yeah,
portrayal
it's
has
always
been
been that way,
higher,
and
but
I
I
just like
think
that they're.
overall it's like vaguely accurate, but it shouldn't be taken literally, I
Yeah, I
guess.
like that they're just referencing it more. Like, there's Perospero saying it back in Whole Cake, how Pedro was stupid to go after someone with his bounty and not just someone as strong as him, you know?
Mhm.
Uh, then the Marines doing it when they talk about the Alliance and all that.
I want to say though, Marco is like kind of the perfect person to be able to quote unquote hold people like this off, not exclusively because of his strength, but because he can afford to be reckless for a while. Like obviously his stamina is like slowly depleting, and eventually, like as he says, he needs Chopper to hurry up, or he won't be able to keep this up forever.
Mhm.
But like he has the ability to be as reckless as he wants for a set period of time until that happens, and that makes him like the perfect person to be able to hold two people of this caliber off like at the same time. I
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
an interesting way of doing it because he's obviously been taking hits the entire time, but he's still fine.
Yeah, I like that he's still healing, but he's also still bruised up pretty decently.
Yeah, and I want
Yeah, he
I
also doesn't regenerate the wing either that was
was
cut
about
off
to
by
say, yeah.
King. So yeah.
It's just his arm now. It's not like a wing anymore.
I don't
So
know if that should be an indication of anything, because he did kind of need that on purpose, right?
I
what do you mean?
I don't really
Because
I don't feel like
he
this is a
healed his arm
big
back, and
the impression that I had actually was that somehow he basically he took what he got for what his wing was cut off, and he took that and like turned it into an attack to fight against King. That
Which he
was
did, yeah, we agree with that, but he
Yeah,
didn't remake the wing afterwards, which is a sign to the readers that his stamina is running out, in my opinion.
yeah. In the next few panels, like when you see him stand like when he kicks Queen, and then the panel where he's standing there afterwards, the arm that got cut off is only an arm now. It's not a wing anymore.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but he was human flying into there in the first place too.
Yeah.
Like he jumps over completely healed, just in his human form instead of bird form, and then he kicks Queen out
Yeah, I'm
in
saying
his
I'm
weird hybrid
the
there.
what I'm saying is that I think he might be like coming to the end of that stamina reserve, so he isn't able to just like willy-nilly just like spawn a second wing again for the sake of it, right? He probably could if he wanted to, but it wouldn't be like wise for him to do. And I think that's like a visual indicator of that limitation that he has with his
Yeah,
fleet. That
because what
Oda
we
is
see
focusing
is
for.
he undoes he when he goes to kick King, all the fire like dissipates. He doesn't have the wings anymore. And then
Mhm.
after he's done kicking Queen, he only has the one wing instead
Yeah,
of recreating both.
yeah.
So yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's like I'm sure he is running low on stamina and it's gonna mess with his healing. I just don't know if like that's an indicator for it or if Oda was just kind of flexing artistically with his
Maybe
weird
that's
ass. Because Marco
since it's
does
not
have
like said
strange
directly.
hybrid
It could
forms
be.
in
I
general.
wouldn't be super surprised if he brought his wing back up, but maybe he
Yeah.
doesn't. I don't know.
I'm not even saying that he like can't. I think that he's like purposefully only using one because he only needed one. He's trying to reserve his stamina because of what he says in the panel itself. He recognizes that he
Yeah,
needs
yeah,
Chopper to hurry up.
yeah.
and
That
whatnot.
could be it too.
Yeah.
So I
And
think
now,
without that dialogue, I wouldn't have thought it as much. But since he said it so directly, that
yeah,
Do you think the fire
and he's
like
breathing
directly
heavy.
draws on his stamina?
I'm sure. Yeah, I feel like just using your devil fruit in general, like kind of like Law's room and whatnot, is probably similar to that.
Well,
As-
most of them don't, but I can't see that being the case. It would make sense for Marco. Like that'd be a really logical limitation to healing. Just if you get too tired, you're just gonna die instead of heal.
Yeah. Well, Otis said that in a SBS or whatever, right? He said that his healing is not limitless. It eventually will be unable to work. Or whatever.
He says there's a limit, but he doesn't specify it or anything. So like I thought when the chapter on Sphinx Island came out, maybe the limit was just for other people, and for Marco, it's
Wasn't it about Mark? Wasn't like the question about Marco's healing himself though? Or Marco healing?
it was about the fires.
We didn't
being able
even
to
know.
burn.
I'm pretty sure we didn't even know Marco could heal other people at that time. So it was definitely referring to Marco.
Yeah, I highly doubt that he would have. I think it's very unlikely that Sea Stone is his only fucking like weakness. I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just didn't think it was gonna be like a stamina thing. I just figured you could cut off his head real fast, and maybe that would kill him, or something like that. I don't know. Or like you
Yeah, I
hit him
feel like
enough at
probably-
once and he can't heal from it, or something like that. But it does make sense for it to be a stamina thing. Yeah.
There are examples of it, like with Law, so it's not like unheard of, and I feel like that kind of makes it more likely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Law's the only one, or at least only confirmed one.
Only confirmed, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that it's likely the case with a lot more, but it's never like brought up because it doesn't really matter that much. Oda can make the stamina limit as much as he wants, really, until it's most convenient for them to run out or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of like and dislike that there's no across the board thing for stuff like that and for like double fruits going on when people are knocked out.
Yeah, it's double-edged sword where it allows us to have more things like creatively happen, but at the same time, it's like kind of vague to the point where it's like kind of frustrating.
I still don't like how
Yeah.
Apu's fucking power can be blocked by blocking your fucking ears. That's so dumb to me.
It makes sense.
Does it
Unless
though?
like, specifically,
It-
unless it was, like,
lightly.
unless it
Wait,
was specifically
yeah.
an attack that like it enters your fucking brain, like your brain has to comprehend the
I guess
attack,
that's what
and
it
then
is.
like
Yeah, that's
and then like
literally what it is.
no, but you
Uh,
could like send like like a sound wave slash sort of attack, like
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be. Like it would be the sound waves traveling, and then them hitting traveling there would be what hurt them, rather than like it going in your ear, comprehending it, and then like what decides where on your body you get slashed, right? Like if it makes it in your ear, why doesn't he just cut off your head immediately? If it's like something he can choose, why does it only slash like their chest or something? You know,
Maybe he aims it somehow. That'd be interesting.
it's very strange.
Like he's singing into your chest so your heart explodes.
But then how would you block it with your earplugs? How would
I
that work?
mean, you don't hear the sound, so your heart begins to explode.
Oh my god. No, I don't actually mind that too, but there are some like weird vague things going on with One Piece that can be a little frustrating at times. I want hockey to be more specific, for example. Hockey is way too vague as is.
I like that it's vague only because they're not using it for specific things that make the vagueness an easy out, if that makes sense. Like no one's
yeah.
saying, yeah, my hockey's gonna burn through this log because my willpower is fiery or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't mean anything like that. Just more like why is Luffy able to do what he does with hockey? Why can it be rubbery and hard at the same time? It's stuff like that. It's just like It's just like it is that way, and then he leaves it, and
Well,
then he just
just
goes
I
on.
don't
Oh,
know,
I
he's
just took that as
using
his body.
fruit. Yeah, and that's his
Yeah.
body. That's his body's natural state at all times, even in the water. So
I figured it was just like he's contracting it consciously. Like he's not just it's not just his body is like bending to it, but he's using his
Yeah.
body to fold around the attack as he's going.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just very strange to me because like there are times where like he gets hit in the forehead or whatever, and he uses his forehead as like a solid thing to actually knock people out. And like when that happens, wouldn't it just like not hurt them because it's like rubbery? Also, I don't know. It's
Well,
weird. Weird.
that's what I'm saying. Like he uses the hockey, he consciously stretches himself, so like he's not rubbery, or rather he's solid, but he is stretching his own body, so it's a solid wall that's closing in on you. I guess if that makes sense.
Okay, I can see
Yeah.
that.
anyway,
Okay,
this
last
the
page here.
bottom of this page and the next page is why
There
I
it is.
think my immediate guess for where Sanji's going is to the main hall, because Paris is showing up and Marco's gonna be in deep trouble, and
Marco can't handle all three.
he definitely cannot, and I can't really think of anybody else who's free to go help.
And
And-
Sanji has an advantage over Perispero as well. So
I was gonna say he's
beyond
perfect
that,
for
and
it.
then
Yeah, the fire.
Hyogoro is in trouble. I mean, there's a chance. There's plenty of other characters that aren't there that could pull stunt for Hyogoro. But there aren't too many people who could really help Marco. Like I'm talking like Caribou could pull something with Hyogoro. Like, oh, you don't have to die, just come in my quicksand or some bullshit like that.
yeah,
Or maybe Hawkins does something. I don't know. But everybody
I
else
honestly
is
forgot about Caribou.
everybody else is busy, and nobody else can help Marco. Nobody except
yeah,
Sanji.
except
Sanji is
for-
the only person who's capable of doing anything here. So
Yeah, true.
especially against like a flying opponent as well.
yeah, and Peros, like
Perispero's weakness to fire as well, stuff
yeah,
like that.
they
I hope we get a 2v3 actually. That would be really fucking cool.
2v3 would be
That
pretty
would be
sick.
really
And
awesome.
then
Yeah.
maybe somebody else can come in later to help finish it off.
No,
I don't think
I
they
don't-
can win.
No, I think they could. I think they could exclusively because of the advantage over Perispero with fire.
Maybe.
Perispero would be not as prominent.
Also, it's also true that Raid Suit is invisible,
Mm-hmm.
and that would at least provide an advantage for X amount of time, until they're able to somehow figure it out, or maybe they just don't, and maybe they just get beat up and die. Who knows, dude?
I mean, I can
but-
see that happening in
But
But the
Perispear
Raid
at
Suit's
least,
got a
but
bunch of tricks up its sleeve, and I bet there's probably, man, maybe there's not anymore. I don't
What?
know. I was gonna say that there might be some other thing that he hasn't done with the Raid Suit potentially.
He hasn't used Diablo Jambe once in it. Not once.
Oh yeah, well
He's
that,
never
but I mean like another tech thing.
I don't think. No, I think at best,
It might be L. Yeah.
I think at best they're saving Diablo Jambe for it just to show like an enhanced version of it or some shit, and then that'll be like the last thing that the Raid Suit can do for him. That we
He's
have
gonna use like double hell memories, his memories of Okama Island and from Judge.
yeah, how much worse could the Diablo jump like get really? Do you think it's going to be a visual show that is stronger, or is he
Well,
going to
so,
take
like-
out someone strong with it?
He's
so
just
like
faster.
so like yeah, like he could make him faster. So like Ichiji, when he used his lightning or whatever was like infinitely faster in the Raid Suit with it rather than outside of it, for example.
No, I mean like visually, how would it improve? You know, because
I
like
don't
of
know.
course he's going to be faster and stronger.
I think
with
it'd just
his
be
suit.
I think it just be showed like brighter, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Hard to say.
Longer trail of fire because he's moving quicker, something like that.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I mean, just look at fucking Red Rock versus Red Hawk, I guess.
Yeah.
Like that's be like
Yeah.
the same.
Well, I mean, Red Rock is also geared third versus geared second.
I think what we're gonna see is that so earlier in like Whole Cake Island when he was fighting Judge or something, he used a Jambe attack that was like a glowing leg instead of like a flaming one, kind of. It was like shining or whatnot. So I think
Like
we
his
might see
original
that
one?
effect like trail more. behind him as he's like using it for a kick or something, instead of it just
Oh,
being
that'd-
like on
yeah,
his
that'd
leg.
be cool. That'd be cool.
Just like stuff like that could make it more visually interesting. Like when Ichiji was using his lightning, there was like a trail of lightning behind him and whatnot when he was speeding through people.
Right.
I want to say that this is my theory for how the Isoni stuff gets temporarily handled. And I do think
Mhm.
it's gonna be Caribou. I think he's gonna put them all in quicksand, and they're not gonna be able to move. And they're just gonna be in his infinite belly, and they won't be able to hurt anyone, and they'll be
But they'd
there
still be
until they can be
using
healed.
stamina, right?
Yeah, I mean they'll be still in danger. The time limit is still there, right? But they
Oh,
can't
okay.
hurt
It's a
everybody
whole
else.
hour.
I think because Hyoguro, who was in the prison with him, is there. The other Yakuza bosses are all about to get hurt. Caribou's gonna come and save the day. That's my theory for this chapter.
I think that's possible.
I honestly forgot all about him. Like that really would be an interesting little change of events. I don't know, would that be too easy potentially? Like, are there any downsides to that?
Chopper still has to make the antidote. But
There would still be a time limit because they are still in threat of danger from the stamina thing.
yeah, like
of-
they
yeah,
are gonna
but
die,
it's
but they're
just
not
the
gonna
time
attack
limit.
everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be able to move and attack people.
I think
yeah.
he maybe not like everybody on the floor, right? But like
Mhm.
he can like go around and like start saving people who are too far gone and just put them in his big fucking quicksand belly, whatever you want to call it. I don't
Oh,
know.
and well, I guess a downside of that would be like Caribou starts getting affected by the Isoni thing too. So it's like a
I don't know.
self-sacrifice.
Does that count? Like, I wonder if it would or not. Because
It's his
he's got like
body.
the Logia. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, one of those.
You'd think,
One of
you'd think it would
those
work.
right?
You'd think it would work, but it could have some weird way of
Well,
not
no,
working.
because it's he's mud. You know, he can't
his
infect
body
mud.
is mud. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's not even like it's in his body. It's in a swamp. The swamp just happens to be controlled by his mind, but like none of it's really touching him, right?
We don't know that. It's
Yeah,
never like explained to us
it could go
enough
either
to know
way.
for
I don't
sure
know.
if you're right there.
It's a little crackpot. I mean,
Okay,
we
but,
haven't even
like-
seen him yet, but we'll see what happens. You know.
But having said that as well, Smoker would have died to the poison at Punk Hazard, right? So maybe it would fuck him up.
Yeah, true.
Maybe
Oh,
maybe because they're in his body, then Chopper can just cure him, and then everybody else is fine. No, that'd be dumb. But
Okay, dude.
but yeah, I don't know.
Go a little far with that one. But I don't know. I like this moment. It feels a little rushed, I'd say. I don't think he's gonna die. Obviously, Hyoguro obviously is like on the ground. He's like, "Yo, off me right now." Before anything happens, I leave the rest in your hands. Yada yada. I think this entire like build up to this moment right here is like half a chapter long. It's like it's so rushed. I feel like.
What?
I know where you're
Yeah,
coming from.
it's
yeah,
quick.
because we only got half a chapter of him like this at all. It's not like he was.
Yeah.
I didn't feel too bad about that. I thought
Well,
it
it's like
was adequate.
So the reason why I feel that is that like I feel as though heaven has rewarded me with this final role to play. Like I feel like he hasn't done jack shit. Like it doesn't feel like he's done anything monumental. Like even though he technically has taken out like the samurai and stuff, and those were a threat, he doesn't feel
Well,
anything
that
like.
and you know he helped
great.
that Udon. He taught Luffy.
But that's not what he means. He's final when he says final role to. Is it what he means?
Oh, he talks
Maybe
about
it
his
is.
apprentice earlier in the chapter, and he talks about how Kinemon and everybody did
Yeah.
everything right, and he's like able to
He
help
says I leave
with
the
what
rest. in your
little he has now as like a withered old man. It's like, yeah,
So maybe that is what he means. But
this is like
I
his
don't know.
final chance. Like literally at the end of his life, he's like, you know, the miracle comes about, and there's like people who are doing like what he never could, and what he regrets that he never tried to do, and now he has this final chance to participate in that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how
Um,
I take it anyway.
I will say that while this feels rushed, to me, even considering that, um, I don't think he's gonna die here. So I think that this moment is like a temporary, like he's resigned himself, and then I think he's gonna survive, and then later on in the arc potentially die. Maybe with
Yeah.
like Luffy actually around or something, because obviously there's like now a connection between the two as like apprentice and mentor. So like I feel like maybe Luffy being there would make it more impactful as well. Something like that. Luffy,
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
maybe the Scabbard's there as well.
Yeah, it's.
It
Yeah.
might be more impactful for him not to see it, just as like a sign of the brutality of what was going on. You know?
Yeah, I think it'd also be more impactful for the story though. I don't know, because it still does feel rushed. If he does actually die here, then I
I
don't
don't
feel
think
like
he will.
that it was built up quite enough for that death.
I think
personally.
Chopper's just gonna yell that the cure's finished, and then boom.
Yeah, that
He-
could just be it. There's nothing.
I feel like
crazy
that's the
happening.
most obvious thing that's about to happen.
This is like a fucking what's his name? Horty Jones like about to take out the king situation right before he's about to kill him. Like Luffy hops
pops
out.
out.
Shirahoshi's like, no.
This summon be Yamato or something.
Yeah. So then yeah, Chopper could just come out and be like, "Yo, it's over." But then like right before, oh no, because there's time passing at the top of the panel. So I was gonna say like right beforehand, Chopper's still freaking out about making the medicine, but then you get the time passing panel in the top right of the left panel.
Yeah,
So I guess
some time is continued to pass. Yeah,
yeah.
or
But-
potentially it's actually
Yeah,
just
cool.
setting changed to like a different spot in the.
Well, the single like that small line in the middle of an existing panel usually indicates time passing. It doesn't have to be a lot of time. It could literally be 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But it
Like it
usually
could be more of just like a setting swap, but
Yeah, it's
yeah,
tough to say.
not literally the exact same time, obviously, but yeah.
It's interesting that King went at Marco in his human form and not like as a pterodactyl.
Well, he sliced him. He was going to use his little pterodactyl arms to hold his sword.
Yeah, and that was
His
in midair.
talons.
That was in midair. We just didn't see him. He's got the wings actually. Never mind. I thought he might have. flown
Yeah,
up
he fights in
before.
midair. He fights the exact same way Marco does. So it's
Mhm.
weird. Like I was actually expecting them to get into a kicking fight because King kicks with his tiny ass pterodactyl talons the same way.
Well, I imagine
Marco does.
King probably thought like something like King probably has history with Marco to an extent. So he knows that like maybe that this would be more damaging to him to his stamina reserves, right? Taking off an arm entirely instead of going into a kicking like melee fight. So he probably just like went at him to take off the arm.
You think so?
That's I mean I could just be fucking reading into it
If
too
he,
much.
yeah,
Obviously, but
if he knows that much so far, I don't know.
like I think reasonably an arm coming off and having to be healed the entire arm would be more of a threat than like getting kicked by like brute force and whatnot, right? That's
Yeah.
harder to heal.
And well, Queen didn't know any of that. Like Queen had no idea what Marco's powers were. It seemed.
He didn't.
Yeah, he's shocked at was it a couple of chapters back when Marco first pops up that he's not dying to a barrage of bullets.
Huh? Maybe he was surprised. I don't know. That's
So I don't know. Like I
Why would
could
he
see
not
if
know?
King does, but I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
maybe knowing that he has like the fruit isn't the same as knowing that he can heal from almost anything with the fruit too.
yeah,
that'd be
it's tough
cool.
to say.
Yeah.
Either way, I do think that slicing would be more damaging to him, regardless. Whether that's like something that he did consciously or not,
Yeah, whatever.
that's
Yeah.
not really sure.
Probably, yeah. It'd be interesting if like the only way to damage Marco was by using something that didn't take something off of his body, you know? Like only blunt damage could hurt him somehow. This was a great chapter. I'm so happy Marco's getting all this attention now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
only for
it
somebody to
was-
steal it in 2 chapters.
All right.
So I think King and Queen might be going hybrid next time we see them.
Yeah, I agree. They're gonna have to, right?
Probably.
what
Yeah.
I mean,
fucking
Queen
Queen
says,
say?
"All right, that's it," and all he has left is fucking hybrid or maybe another fucking gas weapon or some shit. So I hope it's
Yeah.
hybrid instead.
Honestly, Queen's got a lot up his sleeve. Like he could shoot him with the mummy virus. He could shoot
Yeah,
him with
he
the
can
own
just
virus.
come out with some other tech. Probably not. You know, I'm curious what his fucking hybrid looks like. It's gonna be goofy as hell, probably. We're gonna go back
like
to
that one
Like
episode of
Kaku.
Doctor Who, the Slovene. Wait, let me get a picture.
All right.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
I'm waiting.
All right, hang on.
Don't disappoint me.
Where are you posting it?
I'm gonna put it in the VC.
All right.
Oh, you're gonna love this. Look at Queen in all of his glory. Oh my fucking god, the upload failed.
And Red, we're gonna be what's it called? The
What?
video's going to be taken down.
Copyright strike. Yeah.
Oh my bad, I'm so good at it. I know.
Dude, we got a
The
comment that
upload
says,
keeps failing. Why does the
dude,
upload
I
keep
love
failing?
Nami feet too.
Take a
What the
screenshot of it instead of downloading the image.
pizza pasta?
I did.
Yeah, I wonder who that could be.
Can you
Hang
DM
on,
it to me,
hang
maybe?
on. Yeah, hang on.
Maybe the upload will be better there. And then
I'm
I'll
just gonna
upload
drag
it.
and drop it on over.
Okay.
I'm
Dude, Bean,
just
what
trying
the
to fill-
fuck? What is it?
I'm just trying to fill the fucking
I
dead
know, I'm
silence,
sorry.
dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my god, dude, literally like
I don't know why
downloading
s-
the image. Save
Yeah,
as.
I had to.
Save
I
as.
fucking had to.
Did you use snipping tool? What the heck?
Will not work.
I tried. It wouldn't accept the upload for some reason.
Okay, well, while we're waiting, let's point out that Hyogo's sword grew alongside with him. The sword got bigger when he got bigger.
Was he not always using like a sword that was 2 sizes too big for him?
I feel like he was, but it's like that's like midget. Like he's like the size of like 2 feet, 2 like literal feet, and then and then like now he's 10 feet tall, wearing a
Right.
sword that's like even taller than him. So how's this image going, brother? You're really doing this.
Besides that image, like, do we have anything else?
Hey,
that we...
can you
What?
just fucking share your screen, Bean? Just share your screen.
No, because then the stream will see.
Hang on.
What else? I noticed Hody Jones is in the top middle, of the last page.
That's true.
That is him.
It's Hody Jones.
Yep.
The image is just gonna come in like the same way Bean's mic does. It's
I
gonna
know.
like slowly load, and then just all go.
I have no idea what's up. I can't seem to post it anywhere. I can't even DM.
Yeah,
it.
I had
Can
issue
you send
too.
a link to the image? Just send a link to it instead of posting. it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I had to fucking I was trying to make a meme and I had to fucking screenshot it like again for it to send. So yeah, I had that issue too.
The fuck
Fucking
is this website
DuckDuckGo,
link?
What the heck is this?
What are you sending me, bro?
bro.
No, I know what
Bean
DuckDuckGo is a
fucking
search engine.
scam us.
Yeah, it's a different search engine.
I can totally. How is that Queen? I don't get it.
Queen in his hybrid form?
No,
Yeah, it doesn't. It
Dude,
doesn't do it.
this is not worth the wait, bro. Come on.
guy.
Yeah.
That looks more like a bug than a fucking what?
How can I?
Whatever
You have disappointed me
The
truly.
stream doesn't want to see this, dude. It's just so terrible. Okay, dude.
Alright,
Alright.
any theories then? Should we go on to theories before we just close
I
it?
gave mine. Is there any others?
Okay. Let's think. What happened this chapter? So Sanji obviously coming through. So I wanted to point out. Like I love how Marco is like continuing to be so goddamn sadistic. He's like, oh, he seems to be exhausted. Maybe
mean
if I come over
Prospero?
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
also I
Pero,
like.
Pero.
Oh, I also forgot to mention earlier how Yamato's heading there, so it's not going to be a 2v3, it's a 3v3.
Is she headed there?
Yeah,
We
that's
don't-
where the
I thought-
entrance to. That's where the entrance to the Skull Dome leaves. That's how Perospero got there.
Wait, who did you say was about to be there?
Yamato.
Didn't we?
I
Didn't
honestly
we talk
haven't
about
been-
not knowing where Yamato was going? Did we talk about
She's
that?
heading to that. She's going through the entrance of the Skull Dome.
They've escaped. He's headed to the store and escaped.
This
This
is a
way, sir.
disaster. Dude.
No,
Yeah,
they're
no,
not.
It's true. Yeah, they are. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
they're-
Bao Huang is looking at them from the skull dome.
Near the Skull entrance dome.
Skull entrance.
Just on the first page.
Which
it-
is
it
where
tells
Pero
you.
Sparrow just went through.
Okay. Well, that's it for me. I'm done. I'm done with this shit, dude. I lost all train of thought with this image thing.
Yeah, I know. It's just that. Yeah, okay.
I didn't expect you guys to like want to see it that bad. I'd have prepared better.
All right, that's the end. That's the end. I'm turning it off.
Fuck you
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Fuck you guys for watching.